probably curious about who's going to make up this team. So let's go there now and talk a little bit about that. I know that you were able to get the first round draft pick, and that was really a successful move.
Yeah, it was exciting because we had, naturally as an expansion team, we got the first round draft pick, but our coach made some pretty savvy moves and ended up with 3 players in the first round that we were able to pick up. This was a very robust draft this year, and we picked up Danny Mwenga from Oregon State as the first round draft pick. He's an 18-year-old kid, he's a man.
No, he's a kid. It's okay, Nick.
Yeah, maybe he's a kid. He's a kid growing up to be a man. And forward, very fast, 6'2", and he's a very promising player.
What's he going to bring to the team?
I think, look, youth, I don't think he'll be a starter right away, but he'll get a lot of game time this year, I believe, and he'll bring speed and dynamic. He's a very quick player, has good feet, good vision, scored a bunch of goals as a sophomore at Oregon State, and hopefully he'll bring goals with him to Philadelphia.
We're going to hear from him actually later in the show as well. Who else?
We have actually 2 other more seasoned strikers up top. A French player, Sébastien Letou, who came over from Seattle. Actually, Seattle had a tremendous year last year. They were an expansion team. They were number 15 last year, and they had a good season. So Sebastian, and we have a Venezuelan, Alejandro Moreno. There are our 2 more senior strikers up top. And then a kid, 17-year-old U.S. national team player, McInerney is his name, and we drafted him also in the first round as well, and he's a special player. So we're pretty good up top. Defensively, we have Danny Califf, who's a seasoned player, spent the last 5 years in Denmark. He's going to anchor our defense with Jamaican international Shavar Thomas, and we're pretty strong in goal.
It looks like there's quite a few games, too, on the 2010 schedule.
Yeah, there are. We have 30 regular season games, 17 of which are going to be on national TV, and that's an unprecedented number. Never before has our national TV package featured one team 17 times. So I think the national networks are getting the buzz of what's going on in Philly and want to be a part of it, and then the other 13 games will be on local television.
How critical is it to be on TV in order to have a team be successful?
Well, it's important for our brand, and our brand mission is to make the Philadelphia Union the most admired U.S. soccer brand. So whether you're watching us in Germany or Japan or Australia, we want people, when they think of American soccer, to think of the Union. And being on national TV, our broadcast partners are sending this signal to over 200 countries around the world. So it's really important to us to have that from a branding standpoint.
It's interesting you say that, because at the top of the show I said soccer, or football as it's called elsewhere, is the most popular sport in the world. I was just recently in New Zealand, and next to rugby, I mean, they were watching soccer or cricket all the time. Now there's a game I just don't get.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
Who gets that? Rugby I understand. But why is it that you think soccer has traditionally been so much more popular elsewhere and not within the confines of the 48 states?
Well, soccer is a tribal sport, and in many countries around the world you have 3 or 4 big teams in the same city. So it's very tribal, and fans create a connection to their individual teams really around the neighborhoods that those teams play. In the U.S., the market has been growing over the last 30 years, and that tribalism hasn't had a chance to take root until about 15 years ago when Major League Soccer started. So now we have hardcore DC fans, a couple thousand of which are going to come to our game on April 10th. And you're going to see that tribal kind of movement of fans from one stadium to the other.
So you hope to have the same kind of rabid fans that football has, where people literally travel from city to city.
Well, we're not hoping. We actually do have them. We have a fan club called the Sons of Ben, named after Ben Franklin, Philadelphia's favorite father. And the Sons of Ben are now 6,000 strong.
Wow.
And they've become so significant in our lives that we've had to design the stadium around them.
Okay, the Sons of Ben, not maybe what you thought it was going to be. And that leads me to a question for our viewers. Hey, do you know why the team is called the Philadelphia Union? You may think you know, but when we come back, we're going to tell you about that. We're also going to talk about the outlook for the Union's inaugural season, and we'll take a look into the future and how you can be a part of all of the excitement. Stay with us. It's Your Call continues right after this.
Lynn Doyle's jewelry provided by David Craig Diamonds and Fine Jewelry, Newtown, Pennsylvania.
First pick of the first round of the 2010 MLS Super Draft, the Philadelphia Union select from Oregon State University. Forward and a member of Generation Adidas, Danny Malanga.
This is definitely like a dream that came true. You know, I always had a dream to play professional soccer, and even before I heard it, because people were talking about me, the potential of me being the #1 pick, and I heard of how great the Philadelphia Union fans were, and coming here, you know, getting to talk in front of them. And when I heard my name being called by the #1 pick, and then I had all those people just clapping for me, it was unbelievable.
That is the #1 draft pick for the Philadelphia Union. I am Lynn Doyle, and we are talking about soccer returning to the Philadelphia area for the first time since the 70s. We have Nick Sakiewicz with us. He is the CEO and operating partner of the Philadelphia Union, telling us all about it. It seems like Danny is just thrilled to be here, and we mentioned his age, just 18 years old. Mm-hmm. Is this a young person's sport now?
It is, and in this country, there are so many kids growing up playing the game, and you know, some of them play pro, but others continue on through their lives watching the game now, and we've really developed a market. But we're going to be a young team, we're going to be an aggressive team, and that's the way our coach wants it.
You mentioned that you thought DC may have some rabid fans that would find their way to the Philadelphia area. Is that going to be the #1 rivalry, you think?
I think DC and New York will be both, because we're sandwiched.
Oh, another reason to hate New York.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a shock.
We're sandwiched right in between the two of them, and New York has some great fans up there. They have a fan club that sits right behind the goal, and DC has 2 fan clubs. And we have a very large one ourselves. So I think the train traffic and the auto traffic up and down 95 around game day is going to be pretty fun to watch.
All right, so what can we expect in terms of these rivalries? Will the team actually try to promote that? Do you think you'll just let it develop between the fans? Do you have a strategy to try to get people rooting one way or the other?
Well, I think the fans will develop it. And, you know, from the very first day we started, we kind of said we're going to let the fans take us where they want to go. Mm-hmm. And they've done a great job so far. And the Sons of Ben and our fans that have come out in force to support us, not just buying season tickets, but coming to all our events. We had 7,000 people show up to the draft, all Philadelphia fans, to cheer Danny Muinga. I think you heard them chanting his name in the background there. But we're going to let the fans drive the rivalry and of course, the players on the field.
So this isn't really, you're not viewing the Union as competition to the Phillies or the Flyers or the Sixers, but rather a complement to what the city already offers its sports fans?
No question. I mean, of our 10,000 season ticket holders, 80% of them don't have tickets to any other sport. They're hardcore soccer fans, and they've been waiting for this to happen. So this is a compliment from 2 aspects. It's filling the need in Philadelphia for soccer fans, mm-hmm. but it's also an international game. And those other sports are American sports, so is soccer, but soccer is also an international game. This summer we'll be bringing 3 big international teams here to play the Union. And so Philly's going to get a chance to see a little bit of an international aspect as well, and that's what the Union brings.
And tell me about the soccer-specific stadium, how it might differ from other venues where the team would play.
Well, it's built specifically for